Hey guys, thanks for joining me today. So, today, what I want to talk to you about is the reason why you're not making gains. Okay? So, this is going to be a lot simpler than you think it might be. And remember, this is your number one source for natural training and nutrition information. I am committed to helping you achieve your goals by burning fat and building muscle. So, why are you not achieving gains? A lot of people have this problem. So you wanna stay cut, you wanna stay lean, you wanna stay shredded, but um, as soon as you start gaining weight, as soon as you start going from a 6 pack to a 4 pack, you're like, oh crap, I have to cut again, and that's detrimental to your progress. So a little bit later in this video, after I explain a few things, I am actually going to show you my printouts, how I was able to put on 6.5 pounds of muscle in only a month and a half. Again, this is all natural, no steroids, no performance enhancing drugs, okay? And, what my concept of my body fat was as opposed to reality. I thought I had put on 5 or 10 pounds of body fat. In reality, I put on about half a pound. So if you want to make gains the right way, check out all my videos on my channel, and you're gonna be able to be way ahead of the game and really put on some muscle. So here's the thing, right? First of all, when you start gaining muscle, most likely, or excuse me, when you start wanting to build muscle, most likely you're going to start putting on water weight, and that's because you're upping your carbohydrates. Now, for every carbohydrate that you intake, for every gram of carbohydrate that you intake, you are going to hold 3 to 4 grams of water. Okay? So if you're taking in 400 grams of carbohydrates in one day, guess what? You got 1,200 to 1,600 grams of water that you're holding. Now, you do that over the course of a couple of days, and you're going to be holding a lot of water. And a lot of people think that they're getting fat. Well, if you're training hard and you had a somewhat low body fat percentage to begin with, which is what I recommend for when you want to put on muscle, anywhere from 8 to 13%, you're going to think that you're putting on body fat when you're really probably putting on a lot of water. So here's the thing is that when you start to bulk and you start to put on lean mass, and a lot of people are like, okay, I'm only gonna put on lean mass for 2 or 3 months and then I'm gonna cut. Well, what you don't understand is how long it takes to actually build and grow muscle as a natural person. Now if you're on steroids, you could put on 20 or 30 pounds of muscle in 2 or 3 months. But if you're natural, I mean, you're going to be lucky to put on 10 pounds if you're the average guy. And 10 pounds, I mean, if you put on an extra 10 pounds of muscle in 3 months, your look will drastically change. You'll be so happy with your look. But here's the thing. So you start to bulk up, you start to eat, you start to train heavy, you start to train hard, you're making sure you're in a calorie surplus, you're hitting all your goals, your macro, your micro goals, and then you start gaining weight, 5 or 10 pounds or whatever. Well, a lot of guys, as soon as they lose that 4 pack, lose that 6 pack, go to a 4 pack, they start retaining a little bit more water, which they mistake for fat. They think they should cut. Well, the problem with that is when you start putting on muscle and then you want to cut a couple months later, you're burning off half that muscle. So one thing that you have to remember is most of the time, for every pound of muscle that you put on, you're going to put on half a pound to a pound of fat. Most that's what most people will do. Now, vice versa, for every pound of fat you lose, you're going to lose about a third pound of muscle. Now, this is a rule of thumb. So you stagger step. So basically, you go up, and then you go down, but you don't go down as far. So when you bulk, you go up, and when you cut, you go down, but you don't go down as far. And then when you bulk again, And then when you cut, you still can maintain a leaner, more muscular physique, but it's a stutter step basically. You go up a little bit and then you come down. You go up a little bit and you come down. And the reason for that is because you want to maintain low body fat levels, 8 to 13%, in order to be in the optimal range to put on muscle. But a lot of guys, what they will do is they will do that process way too fast. Nobody's patient enough. I mean, if you really want to build a fantastic physique, you're talking 10 years. 10 years of hard training, proper diet, minimal cheating, and you really have to be patient with yourself, and you have to let your muscles recover. You shouldn't overtrain. You really have to, put on that mass and chisel it down a little bit at a time. And that's why I recommend lean bulking. If you're lean bulking, you're going to put on the most amount of muscle with the least amount of fat, so that you don't have to backtrack as often to get yourself into that prime body fat percentage in order to be in the best position to put on muscle. So what you really need to do is you need to get your BMI measured, your body mass index. You got to get your body fat percentage measured. You have to know how much lean mass that you're putting on or taking off, depending, and how much body fat that you're gaining. So go ahead and check out my sheets right now. Okay, I'm gonna show them to you. Okay, so here's my sheet. As you can see, here's my information. That's the date that I had it taken, February. Okay, February 23rd. The next one over here is April 14th. Now, if we go here, you can see my total body water, dry and lean mass, body fat, and lean body mass. So, and my weight at the time was 163, and my lean body mass was 151. Now, over here, a month and a half later, approximately, a little bit less than a month and a half, I put on about 6.5 pounds of muscle. My lean body mass is 158.6, and now I weigh 172. But look at my water. My water weight was 116.5. My water weight over here is 110.9. So when you look at my fat, which was 12.1 back then, and then over here it's 13.4. That's only 1.3 pounds. Now, when I had my body fat measured, I was wearing cargo shorts and I had a heavy metal belt on, so I probably only gained half a pound of fat. But that's besides the point, okay? The point is that right here, my water weight, you can see, actually, let's go back to skeletal muscle right here. Skeletal muscle, 87.1. Over here, skeletal muscle, 91.7. Okay, so that's a lot of muscle. And then over here, you can see my percentage of body fat is 7.5, and over here it's only 7.8. So I only put on 0.3% body fat, which is next to nothing. But when you look at the water, 116.5, and I was already holding on an extra 10 pounds of water, over here is 110.9. So I gained about 6 pounds of muscle, but I also gained about 6 pounds of water. And when you gain more muscle, guess what? You're gonna hold on to more more water. So my point in this is, I only gained 0.3 pounds of body fat. I'm still at 7.8% body fat. Over a month and a half, I put on about 6 pounds of muscle. Now a lot of you guys are gonna see that 6 pounds of water weight and think it's fat, and then you're gonna start cutting. This is not the time to cut. This is the time to continue going, plowing forward, and put on more muscle and increase my calories. Now, the problem is you can't manage what you don't measure. So if you're not getting your body fat percentage taken on a regular basis, and I'm not talking about calipers, okay, or looking in the mirror, all of those things are deceiving. You need a system that is going to measure your body fat, your BMI, your lean body mass accurately, so you know what the heck you're doing. Um, a lot of guys, they think, oh crap, I gained an extra 6 pounds of fat. I have to cut now, when in fact it's just water. And that's the problem. You guys need to be a little bit more patient. Allow yourself to put on muscle. You know, it's funny because when I got my body fat measured the first time, I thought I was fat. I thought I was like 11, 12% body fat. Well, I was holding on to an extra 10 pounds of water. Okay, month and a half later, same thing. It's all in your head. It's all in your head. I'm telling you, it's all in your head. I go there. I think I'm getting fat, and I only gained 0.3%. I thought I had gained at least 5 pounds of body fat, and lo and behold, it's mostly water. So my point is that you have to measure, you or else you really, really don't know. And with water weight, you can shed that in, you know, a couple of days with a diuretic, some dandelion root, some other natural compounds, and you can get a real, real shredded look. But if you're always cutting when you think that you're too fat, um, first of all, you're pretty much deleting all of your hard-earned work. You're just gonna be in this vicious cycle that you really never make any progress. And yeah, you may stay lean, but you're never gonna get that big muscular look because you don't really know the truth, and that's why it's so important for you to measure to see what you're doing. So I appreciate your time, guys. I hope that you learned something from this video. I hope that this really put things into perspective and to give you an idea of what is possible and what is reality when you're building muscle. So if you like this, please subscribe to my channel and share it with others, and I'll see you next time.